Rosario se encuentra en el centro de la República Argentina, en una de las regiones más fértiles del mundo, conocida como Pampa Húmeda, y recostada sobre el majestuoso río Paraná, interconectada con una vasta región a través del corredor bioceánico y la hidrovía Paraná-Paraguay. En sus 178 kilómetros cuadrados de superficie conviven más de 1 millón de personas que transitan sus barrios, grandes avenidas y disfrutan de los 12 metros cuadrados por habitante de espacio verde público, destacándose entre las ciudades más verdes de Latinoamérica. Rosario es una ciudad planificada que produce, consume y convive en armonía con el ambiente donde se erige. Una ciudad que camina a paso firme hacia un horizonte sustentable. Hace décadas que la ciudad es pionera en materia de gestión integral de residuos. En los últimos años se destacan las estrategias de minimización y tratamiento de la fracción orgánica de residuos. La reducción del desperdicio de alimentos es una de las metas del programa de concientización para reducir los desperdicios de alimentos, una tendencia mundial en alza. Además, ofrece talleres de producción de compost en el hogar a través de programas de educación ambiental al alcance de todos los rosarinos. En 2013, la ciudad dio un salto diferencial en relación a la gestión de residuos orgánicos. La primera planta de tratamiento y compostaje comenzó a operar para seguir aportando a un modelo de ciudad sustentable. Con una superficie cubierta de 5.100 metros cuadrados destinada a las operaciones de separación, clasificación, limpieza de materiales, compostaje y chipeado, fue diseñada para procesar 200 toneladas de residuos domiciliarios por día. Como resultado, se obtiene compost que se destina a la cobertura del relleno sanitario, el vivero municipal, parques y plazas de la ciudad. Rosario está rodeada por un cinturón verde de 800 hectáreas, donde la producción de huertas funciona como principal fuente de trabajo a una gran cantidad de familias. Por eso se puso en marcha un programa que pretende jerarquizar la producción agroecológica y lograr que el cordón periurbano de la ciudad esté libre de uso de agroquímicos. En esta misma línea, también se pone en marcha una nueva modalidad de recolección de orgánicos en algunos barrios de la ciudad y se generan nuevas alianzas estratégicas con instituciones que recuperan los desperdicios de alimentos para reutilizarlos, como el Banco de Alimentos Rosario. La intención es generar compost 100% puro que sirva como abono a la producción de los huerteros del cinturón verde de la ciudad. Rosario es una ciudad que funciona como una cadena de engranajes donde cada uno desde su lugar aporta a un sistema de inclusión social y respeto al entorno, al equilibrio ambiental y a la valorización de los recursos naturales. Rosario, una ciudad a escala humana en armonía con el ambiente.
Bueno, muy bien.
Very well, and thank you for watching this video with us. Now, I will be going over some data that we saw in the video. The city of Rosario has 1.1 million inhabitants, a surface of 68 square kilometers, and we have green spaces per inhabitant of 129 square meters per inhabitant. This is an indicator that makes us very proud. Now, specifically talking about management of waste, I would like to tell you that daily in the city 800 tons of household waste is generated, and we see on the chart here the composition of that residue of the waste. We understand that 58% of waste that is generated is organic, 32% are recyclables, and 10% are other types of waste. Obviously, for us, the challenge lies in the treatment of the organic part. And for that purpose, the city of Rosario works along two lines. First, minimizing and then treatment. What are the minimization strategies in this area in Rosario? We have been working for more than a decade now in different programs. One of them is that of the Green Neighborhood Network. Under this network, we work with more than 2,500 families throughout different occupations, which have to do with the rational use of energy, water, sustainable transportation, separation in origin, and composting. Since 2015 until now, we have been strengthening every area of work with composting, and today, more than 65% of those homes around those green areas are composting. Another one of the work lines is that of the Green School Network. Under this, we have more than 320 institutions participating. We work with them along the same lines that as with the green areas. And this year, we have been working very strongly in composting, and we have about 320 institutions that are already composting. The ratio between household and institution is, or the composition rather, is different. But we are convinced of the multiplier effect that institutional setting has, because we work with the teachers at the school level, and we are convinced that also students can replicate all those good experiences and take them back home with them. So what are the treatment strategies that the city has? Well, for us, a milestone that has been fundamental in the area treatment has to do with the construction of the composting plant, with the financing from the World Bank, and also through an agreement with the Secretariat of the Environment of our nation. We have been able to build the composting plant since 2013, and it has been in operation since then. This is a picture of how the process begins. In reality, the plant, we used to say that the generation is 800 tons of waste, and the plant is intended to process 200 tons. Nowadays, we're processing between 120 and 150 tons per day. Here we can see the beginning of the process line, whether household waste, so whatever is first, there is a manual sorting done between recyclables that come from different social activities, where there are more than 15 families under each one of those occupations that make a living out of readapting those materials in order to recycle them. So the rest of the materials go through a processing line where there is a mechanical sorting, where we separate organic material from the rest of the waste. And then the organic material goes to the composting phase. Approximately, we have about 60 tons left over for composting after the whole process is done. Here we see 4 tons per day that we recover of recyclable materials that, as I said, go through the different social settings. Here, this is part of the team, the work team that we have working at the composting plant. I would like to say that we have 40 employees working here, doing 2 shifts. 20 of them are municipal workers, and half of the workers have some type of disability. In addition, we have been able to involve 12 recoverers. Not only we have with this, I'm telling you that we do compost, but how we do it, because in addition to composting, we are performing a social duty, which is social inclusion and involving not only those that work in this sector, but also those people that have some type of disability. Very well. Ever since between 2013 and 2015, we found a new possibility of being able to work with the World Bank through consulting with 2 other cities in the country, Mar del Plata and Salta. And the World Bank proposed to us to work under 3 pillars. One that has to do with technical consulting, another one with regulatory consulting, and another one which has to do with communication consulting, specifically for the topic of food waste reduction. After this consulting, I can tell you what concrete actions we have implemented under each one of the pillars. under the technical pillar. Well, one of the main issues that we developed was to sign an agreement with the producers market, from which they generate about six tons of fruit and vegetable they cannot market. So we take them to the composting plant by generating a product that becomes of better quality, and it is sent back to the orchards, as you could see in the green area in the video. Last week, and we're very happy about this, we were able to sign an agreement with the food bank of the city of Rosario and the producers market. So this three-party agreement in the city of Rosario we have been able to agree on different policies that will allow us to work together in order to reduce waste. So the agreement basically takes into account the possibility that the market makes available some physical space, and the food bank will be able to manage some basic infrastructure in order to provide for that place, and that the municipality will provide 3 employees to work in the sorting of the fruits and vegetables that can be consumed. In addition to those 3 workers that can work in the informal recovery, the municipality will have technical support, so there will be 1 person assigned to coordinating this program. In reality, this morning, when we were discussing about whether it's possible or not to link up with the state, with the government, I believe this is an example of doing so. We're about to start working in this regard, and we are very anxious and happy and looking forward to this experience. Another one of the issues that we have been working on is a new service of collection of organic material. As I said, in the area of waste reduction, it has been an innovating city. We have a very innovative way of collecting those recyclables. Also, we have a different way to collect grass trimmings and others. And now we're working on a pilot program for 3 neighborhoods in the country by separating organic material from other trimmings and another type of waste. So we're going 3 times a week. We're going to collect organics material, 2 times green and other grass trimmings and other materials. Regarding the regulatory aspect, the first thing that we did was to sign an agreement by supporting the program of food waste loss reduction. We did this recently, and this is a national initiative of inviting many cities to join this program. And we understand that it's very important to articulate policies at the different level of the state. So we have supported and joining the program, and there has been a decree issued carrying this at the national level. Now, through the municipal ordinance, which is our legislative body, there has been a decree, or ordinance rather, which what it provides is that the local restaurants can provide to the consumers the possibility of taking back home the food that they don't finish at the restaurant. In reality, this has been work done by this body, but we also understand that it makes a lot of contribution to this issue. And also, furthermore, there is a decree through which the legislative branch makes the executive of municipality to carry out different campaigns in order to publicize this ordinance. In relation to communication aspect, well, we have a campaign which is food is not thrown away. We work in the streets, conducting several activities. For instance, this one is also done through the agreement that we have with the producers market or farmers market. They provide us with fruits and vegetables. Usually with the fruits, what we do is we produce shakes or juices, and we provide them for free to the public in general. And we take that opportunity to talk to them about the waste of food in general. We take some pictures, and after that, we intensify that campaign throughout the media and social media. Now, the last 6 months, we have been conducting many different events throughout different places in the city. More than 300 people have come to visit the stands during this last activity. Another activity is that open air cooking classes in 3 places in the city. What is done is providing that they have provided cooking classes in the public using recovered fruits and vegetables that have been gathered from the farmers markets. Another activity that we do systematically once a month in the different districts of the city is that of exchange for nature. It's almost a classical activity of our secretariat. What we do is we invite all the neighbors in a given space. They take all the recyclables, and when we exchange that for some type of natural product, or either for a free card for free transportation or a bag of vegetables, and in this case, marmalade. In this case, it's a jam that has been made by small entrepreneurs in the city with recovered fruits and vegetables. Also, we have opened up the composting plant, and it's open to the public. We understand that as far as environmental education lies the power to be able to create awareness as to the need to change behavior and to have sustainable habits. And so here is the key to solving the problem. Therefore, we are promoting this type of visit by the public because many times people, when it comes to getting rid of their waste, they forget about the problems. They just throw their waste and they forget about the rest of the problem, but they forget about everything else that's behind the problem. So sometimes when they come face to face with the problem and they see it in person, they realize the scale of a problem, and that has very good impact, very strong impact, and makes it possible for us to work in creating greater awareness. Now, what are our next challenges? Well, from now until next semester, we have some specific objectives of things that are still pending based on the consulting that we have done. First, to produce a good practices manual for the consumer. Secondly, to go ahead with communication campaigns, especially in relation to generators of waste and private sector also, and also to implement what is provided under the municipal ordinance, and that applies to restaurants and other food services, but it's only been it hasn't been applied or implemented so far. So that's what it's needed now. In relation to collection of organic material, we're in the first phase of implementation. So we're working with the neighborhoods, conducting surveys by publicizing how the service is going to be working, but we have to implement it. And after that, we have a very ambitious plan, which is to convert our composting plant or the building in an environmental park, and also to be able to treat other aspects of composting, such as treating waste material, such as tree branches and grass trimmings and others, and also to be able to work in biogas. We understand that all of this, we have to do it within the framework of a large environmental park, because we believe that the pillar of education is fundamental in order for us to change our consumption habits and also the way that we treat and process waste. So that's all, and thank you very much.